Okay. It is empty. Sorry for the background noise. There's no business like show business, like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing, everything the traffic will allow. Nowhere could you get that happy feeling when you are stealing that extra bow. They called it lungs, as if that explained anything, as if the sound came from anatomy and not will. I filled houses. Me Ethel, I split balconies clean in half. I bent vowels until men in suits called it history. Broadway loved me loud. America loved me for sure. Certainty sells. Doubt does not. From the outside, showbiz looks like a world of glamour and applause. However, the work demands resilience more than talent. In these selections, Late Curtain, a tribute to Ethel Merman by Leonard Skokov. 2 stars, 1 exit for Judy Garland and Marilyn Monroe by Marvin Strain. Untitled Actress by Amber Tamblyn. Rose's Turn, song from Gypsy by Bette Midler. And There's No Business Like Show Business, song by Irving Berlin. Let's open the curtain and shine a spotlight on the ups and downs of show business. Is there really no business like show business? A poetry program. But here, late in the day, after the applause learned my name, Ethel, better than my children did, I wonder what I traded for that sound. There were dinners that stayed warm without me, beds that learned my shape and forgot it, love that waited backstage until the run closed and packed up quietly without a review. I told myself this was a job, a good one, honest. Stand here, sing true, take the bow. I wink at you from center stage like it's an accident. Like I don't know exactly what I'm doing with this lighting. The dress is illegal in 3 states and morally questionable everywhere else. They clap because they're supposed to. But you forget to breathe. Marilyn and Judy learned early how to be wanted. One with a voice still in her mouth, the other to smile until fear looked like light. Men in offices named it care, doctors named it medicine, but the world, we named it magic. They were girls when the pills began, one to rise and one to rest, neither to refuse. Submission calls for an actress, mid to late 20s, all nationalities acceptable, Caucasian preferable. There it is. Thin but not gaunt, quirky but not unattractive, no brown eyes, not taller than 5'5", weigh no more than 109. Actors should have great smiles, straight teeth must be flexible, small bust A+, can do own stunts. Judy learned endurance. Marilyn learned illusion. One carried her voice like a bruise you press on because it still works. The other wore softness like a second skin that never thickened. Applause kept time with their heartbeats. Contracts replaced childhood. Loved arrived early and left late. They were told this is how stars survive. You give the body what it needs to keep the dreams awake. But dreams, they don't sleep. Roll calls for nudity. Roll calls for simulated sexual intercourse. Roll calls for roleplay with lead male. No stand-in available. Character shy, yet codependent. Character confides in others at her own risk. Character's fatigued, hollow, suffers from self-doubt, a sense of worthlessness. 5'5", requires an actress that will leave an audience speechless, who's found her creative voice. Not a speaking role. Judy died tired. Marilyn died lonely. One with a voice still in her mouth, the other with silence arranged neatly on a nightstand. The headlines were different. The ending was not. Because both were asked to be less human than the people who watched them. Because both were loved more as ideas than as women. One sings without counting the cost. The other rests without being looked at. And somewhere below, we finally learn what it meant to call their deaths tragic. Not because they died young, but because they lived so long without mercy. But the truth is, the lads don't ask what they cost you. They only ask that you'll step into them again. I was never fragile enough to be protected. I was never small enough to be missed. They said I had nerve. They said I had brass. No one asked if I had silence. If I would have stayed home, would the world have been quieter? Or would me, Ethel, have been? I thought you did it for me, Mama. I thought you did it for me. I thought you made an old tail ox into a star because you laughed doing the things the hard way, Mama. Haven't you got any talent? Not what I call talent. Talent for the deaf, dumb, blind, maybe. But not an ounce of it, Miss Gypsy Rose Lee. I made you, and you want to know why? What did it get me? Scrapbooks full of me in the background. Give them love, and what does it get ya? What does it get ya? One quick look as each of them leaves you. All your life, and what does it get ya? Thanks a lot, and out with the garbage. They take bows when you're batting zero. I had a dream. You wanna know what I did it for? 'Cause I was born too soon and started too late. That's why. What I got in me, what I've been holding down inside of me, if I let it out, there wouldn't be